We're calling it Reclaim Your Radiance for a reason. So many people feel bloated and stuck and unmotivated and disconnected from themselves in a way where they don't know what they want.
You can't just tack on one supplement and like one yoga class, if you will, is not going to fix the root.
And just to be clear, we are women in midlife and we are on this journey ourselves. Like, we don't have all of the answers, but I think that we should talk about what this program is going to look like. It's a 12-week structure, and you can join at any time after January 4th. There'll be some live coaching. There'll be accountability check-ins.
That is where the real power happens.
Welcome to the Art of Living Well podcast, where we empower you to take charge of your health and happiness. We're Marnie
and Stephanie,
board-certified integrative health practitioners, holistic wellness coaches, and passionate explorers of all things mind, body, and soul.
Each week, we bring you expert insights, real-life stories, and practical tools to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you truly want to be. From longevity and nutrition to mindset, movement, and healing, we dive deep to uncover the root causes of wellness and vitality.
Join us and our growing community as we explore what it really means to create your art of living well in a way that's authentic, sustainable, and uniquely yours.
Welcome back to the Art of Living Well podcast. We are on today just doing a solo episode. And before we dive in, we just want to kind of update you guys on maybe some things that are new and good in our lives. I feel like it's been a while since we've just chatted with you casually and shared how our fall is going. So Marnie, what is new and good in your life right now?
I'm looking outside right now and it's sunny. And that's really nice because this past weekend was freezing here. I just love when the sun is shining. But anyway, aside from that, we just got back from visiting our youngest at college, and she is really happy. And it was so nice to just be with her and meet all of her friends and the parents of her friends. And they're all so nice. And so that just feels really good because, if the friends are nice and the parents are nice, your kid is in good hands, right? And she's happy in her classes and she's gotten herself involved in so many different things. So I just came home feeling really good about her college decision and where she's at right now. That is definitely the highlight of what's going on in my life right now. It's not personally for me, it's for my daughter, but just heartwarming. And I will mention one other thing. My other daughter just got into med school. She has been working her butt off since high school, I would say. Her butt off. Get this dream of going to med school. And she's still waiting to hear back from other schools. So she hasn't decided yet where she's going to go. But just getting into med school was a really big deal. And again, so happy for her. Like, I think about it every day. It makes me so happy.
It's always like when your kids are doing well, that impacts your overall well-being and your happiness, and just knowing that you launched her into this really good space, both of your girls, and really good places, and that they're thriving right now. And it's hard when your kids are not doing well because the opposite is true. So congratulations to both of them. That's a big milestone.
Thank you. And what about you? What's going on with you?
I actually saw my son briefly last weekend, and I'm going to see him this weekend, the one in college. And the same thing, just having interactions with parents and really feeling good about just his friends and the families and the community that he has is just wonderful. And it does make a really big difference. So I share that. But the other thing I want to mention that is a big deal for me, that I got some finally good news, and this is something we've talked about on the podcast before a little bit, is I had my 4th or 5th DEXA scan, and we have encouraged everyone out there, middle-aged women, if you have not had a DEXA scan yet, that is measuring your bone density, please go out there today and schedule. This is like a public service announcement, and schedule an appointment. So I've had many, and it went from osteopenia to osteoporosis, kind of flat to maybe a little worse for the maybe 2nd and 3rd DEXA scans. And I've been really religious about taking a very specific supplement that we talked about in our bone density episode, and we'll link that back up. It's called AlgaCal, and there's clinical studies that show that it actually improves bone density. Now, I want to go back to when I first got diagnosed with osteopenia. My OB at the time, who's no longer my OB for obvious reasons, he told me that it is not possible to improve your bone density. He said at the time, and this is going back, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago now, that the best you could do is maintain your bone density so that by the time you get to like 50s or 60s, that you'll be on par with your sort of peers, right? I am just here to say in my latest scan that my practitioner reviewed too, that I had 5% improvement in like the femoral neck area, which is kind of by like your femur and your flexor. And so it's gone from osteoporosis to osteopenia, which is better. And then in my lumbar spine, it's still osteoporosis, but it improved 6.4%.
That's amazing.
I just feel so good about that. I mean, I do a lot of training and I have been for a while. I think it's like the two things, really those supplements are really helping. And there's other things you can do aside from going on like a medication, which I've had doctors ask me if I want to go on.
Well, there's shots, like my mom does the shots.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how you walk with the weighted vest quite a bit. And I'm wondering if that makes a difference.
Okay. So when we were researching that episode, I remember we found out that there were some studies that were done, smaller in scale, but still studies that showed that women who walked with a weighted vest improved their bone density. And I have been doing that twice a week for like some longer walks or hikes even. So again, can I pinpoint exactly what is helping to improve my bone density? No, but I do think that the supplements are playing a big role. And I think the continued strength training and even the weighted vest.
So what I'm curious about is if you think every woman or person in midlife should take Algae Cal because we are losing bone density over time as we age. And I just wonder about that.
I think that's an excellent question. And definitely one worth exploring, going onto their website. And especially if you've had a DEXA scan, and even if you're not yet in osteopenia or osteoporosis kind of territory, but you've seen a decrease in your bone density, I would absolutely start taking it. So it's calcium, but my father, who is undergoing chemo, he said his doctors recommended calcium for him and didn't give him any guidance, just take calcium because he's going to be losing bone because of the chemo, bone density. And so I set him up on this plan as well, and he's going to take it. I definitely think it's worth exploring because of the clinical trials that they've done and the evidence that shows that it does improve your bone density.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting. And while we're on the topic of midlife, we are really excited to introduce to you this new program community that we have created starting in January 4th to be exact. And you can start at a later date as well, but that's the day it'll kick off. And we have both seen so many clients over the past however many years we've been doing this. And so many people feel bloated and stuck and unmotivated and maybe even like disconnected from others and disconnected from themselves in a way where they don't know what they want. They're struggling to feel joy. They're struggling to feel fulfilled. And so we were like, okay, we need to do more than our Vitality Reboot because that's a fabulous program, but people want more. So we are giving you a behind the scenes look at what we've created, and we're super excited about it.
Are you tired of bland meals and feeling drained? Well, it's time to shake things up with Redmond salt. From their pure, unrefined real salt to their bold seasoned salts, Redmond brings out the best in every bite. And when it comes to hydration, Relight electrolytes deliver the clean, science-backed replenishment your body craves, without the junk found in other sports drinks. I've been drinking their delicious electrolytes daily for over 3 years and really notice a difference when I don't have them. They have packets that are easy for travel and on the go. I also absolutely love their seasoned salts, and my favorites right now are the lemon pepper, taco seasoning, and chili lime, the perfect complement for Taco Tuesday. Why do we love Redmond so much? Their products don't contain any fillers or additives, just the good stuff your body needs to thrive. So whether you're fueling a tough workout, upgrading your favorite recipe, or just staying hydrated, Redmond has your back. Try Redmond Real Salt and Relight electrolytes today because what you put in your body matters. Go over to redmond.life.com and use the code LivingWell15 for 15% off your first order. Taste and feel the difference. If I think back to my own health journey, gosh, wouldn't I have loved to be part of a community of like-minded women who are similar but different, and connecting in this way and building community is so powerful. Right? We all know at this point with technology, you can go out there and find information on any topic you want. But that comes with, almost information overload, and it becomes overwhelming and confusing as to what we should do in midlife. Should we take supplements? Should we go on HRT? What should we do? How much protein should we be eating? And most of my clients I see are just confused and they're bogged down by the noise. And so being part of this community is going to be so powerful, because when you're with other people and you're talking and sharing stories and best practices and what works, and kind of just figuring out what your body needs and getting back to who you are, like Marnie alluded, the possibilities are endless, is all I'm going to say. And so that's why we're so excited to create this, because it's something that we would have wanted. Like, it's a community we want to be part of too.
And just to be clear, we are women in midlife and we are on this journey ourselves. Like, we don't have all of the answers, but I think that we have worked with many, many clients now and are really digging into things deeply in this space and sifting through a lot of that noise that Stephanie was talking about. And a lot of it is very personalized and it really does come from within. But having the accountability of a community and even of us behind you is really helpful. Like, I think back to my 40s, even late 30s, early 40s, when I was feeling stuck in some ways and how alone I felt. And like Stephanie mentioned, if I had had a community to belong to, I think it would have changed things for me dramatically. And even to talk about what's not working, like what is working, what's not working, what works for somebody might work for you as well, or it may not. But just kind of having that to bounce your thoughts off of is so helpful.
Yeah. And just like I shared with my journey, my sort of a brief journey with osteoporosis that I'm still struggling with, this has been going on for over 10 years. And I've kind of been by myself. And with, finally I found a health practitioner that understands, and we're, aligned on our philosophies with this. But that has taken a long time. And so if you are struggling with anything, some chronic conditions, it could be simply skin issues or joint pain and brain fog. And then things are kind of getting more fuzzy, if you will. If you're approaching perimenopause, then this is the place that you're going to want to be, because we have a whole program that's very intentional around building up that foundation. A lot of times I'm talking to clients and they want to, start doing some, practices, self-care practices, but it's like, and again, these are all great things. Like, maybe it's yoga or maybe it's strength training, but then you look at their foundation and they're not sleeping well and they're not exercising a ton. They're certainly not getting a lot of steps in during the day, and they're not eating nourishing meals. So those are like foundational items. And we can't just like tack on like one supplement and like one, yoga class, if you will, is not going to sort of fix the root and address those root issues, if you will, that are holding you back.
So I think we should talk about what this program is going to look like. Like, it's a 12-week structure, and you can join at any time after January 4th. It'll just be ongoing, but there will be a start on January 4th. And for those of you familiar with our Vitality Reboot, formerly known as our detox program, we will be kicking off the first 2 weeks with that Vitality Reboot program. And a lot of our clients notice in the first 7 days of that program that their bloating is reduced pretty quickly. They're sleeping better, their skin is better, their energy is better. There's so many like quick wins in that program, and we can really tailor it to your needs. So someone that's never done a liver detox before does not need to be afraid, because there's lots of modifications we can make. And we've been leading these for so many years now that I feel like we've seen it all.
Yes. It's really about clean eating. And so think of the first 2 weeks of January, starting the year, eating really delicious, healthy, nourishing foods that your body is going to love and thrive. And that's why you're going to see the benefits of the sleep and the bloat and the energy right away.
We have heard from clients that have done this program before that they want more, that they struggle to transition from our Vitality Reboot into normal life. So instead of transitioning, just straight back into normal life, now you're going to get 10 more weeks of how can I incorporate this into my life and build on it. And so, then we go into week 3 where we're talking about strength and confidence. And we've talked a lot about that before, but really creating a movement for your body that works for you that you can do regularly, not just, like Stephanie mentioned, one yoga class here and there, or one strength training session, but how can you start to really build that foundation into your daily life?
Are you loving this conversation and want even more ways to live your happiest, healthiest, and most authentic life? Then we'd love for you to join our growing community on Substack. When you subscribe, you'll get bonus content and behind the scenes insights from us. Plus, you'll be the first to know about our upcoming programs and events. Your support helps us keep bringing inspiring guests and impactful conversations straight to you each week. So head to the link in our show notes, sign up today, and let's continue this journey together to create the art of living well. It's all about personalizing it for you. So that's the part of the coaching. There will be some, live coaching sessions, group coaching sessions. And for those of you out there, if you've never done coaching, whether it's one-on-one or group coaching is really powerful because you're not only getting the benefit of having Marnie and myself as health practitioners coach and help you peel back the layers of what's holding you back, but you're going to get the experience of the other women in the group. And sometimes that is where the real power happens. That's where the real magic happens, if you will. And Marnie and I can say this firsthand, like we were in a mastermind and that's how we met, which is very similar. It was focused on our business, but the power of women together supporting each other and holding up a mirror when needed. Sometimes it's, just a little bit of like tough love and honesty as far as what's going on. And then helping and asking questions so that you can get out of your head and really get into your, intuition and knowing. Because at the end of the day, what Marnie and I both believe is that you already have all the answers you need inside of you. And so our sort of role in this program is to be your guide and help you unpack what's holding you back. And then, yes,
hold
there'll
you
be
accountable.
And hold you accountable because you will be setting goals for yourself.
You said something where you said when you're in a mastermind or in the power of a group, and even I'm thinking about how we bounce things off each other, and there's just 2 of us. Like you don't need 30 people either. Like when there's a small group or a large group or whatever it is, there's always a lesson in what somebody else has done. I feel like everybody can be a teacher in some way and a student in some way. And so I think it's great. And so we have a topic that we will be focusing on every week, and we'll have, a live session where you guys can come on and talk to us and ask us questions. And you're really getting 2 coaches for the price of one, which is awesome because we have similar backgrounds, but we also have different experience, So, we'll be talking about sleep, and we'll be talking about hydration and gut health. These are some of the topics. And you may say to yourself, "Oh, I've heard this so many times. Like I know how to sleep. I know what to drink." But if you're not doing it, as we've said before, like the idea, I think it was Einstein that said, like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity, right? So we are going to try and guide you to have a different roadmap so that you will actually follow through with what you know already.
And I think too, even people that say, "Oh, my sleep is great. I sleep really well." You never know. Making some small tweaks could have a profound impact. Also, as we age, our sleep changes and our bodies change. And based on our lifestyles, that dictates how much sleep. And maybe it's just tuning in and listening to your body more. There are still people out there that think they don't need a lot of sleep or can stay up really late at night and be a night owl. And Marnie and I may challenge you on that very topic. We'll just leave it at that. So even though some of these you may think, "Oh, I drink a lot of water. I'm good." We're going to unpack some, maybe some myths and debunk a few things and just help you have a better awareness for what your body needs. Because sometimes we're actually not tuning into our body. So while we think we may not need sleep or we may not need as much of fuel or hydration, what happens when you switch it up a bit, right? You may notice some subtle shifts that you didn't even think were possible.
Or I'm even thinking about electrolytes, right? Like,
Yep.
2 years ago, I never added salt to anything, and it's made a huge difference. And just there's these little tweaks that may not even be on your radar.
Right.
So, another topic that's a very big topic is hormones. We really want you to work with your hormones and not against your hormones. And I think that there is so much misinformation on this topic. And so we're really excited to dive into this and help you unpack it. To anyone who's been feeling exhausted, puffy, foggy, or like your body isn't your own anymore, this is for you. Our 12-week midlife reset helps you get your energy back, clear your mind, balance your hormones, eat, and move in a way that works for your body, and actually feel good again. The first 10 people get $100 off with code RESET100. The link is in the show notes. And if you're ready, we're here and excited to support you.
Absolutely. We're not just talking about estrogen either. We're going to talk about cortisol and insulin. So it's not just sort of the female hormones in midlife, which we will, of course, cover. And it's really like you have a unique blueprint, your body. And so how can we work with that? How can you accentuate the things that are going well? And how can you then focus on, maybe sort of raising the bar a bit on some of those areas of your life and well-being that are taking a backseat? Because reality is everyone can't sort of be a 10 out of 10 in all these areas all the time. It's just not possible. And one of the exercises we love to do is kind of go through all the areas and then figure out which ones are going well and you don't need to focus on and which ones need a little more support.
One of the things that I really like about this program is you're giving a gift to yourself to do something for yourself, because even just dedicating the time to focus on these topics, like a lot of people, including myself, if I don't make the time for the things, they don't happen. So if we're making time to evaluate, your purpose and your joy and how you feel and what are the things that you're doing that you don't enjoy and what are the things that you do enjoy, and how can we create a day so you're doing more of the things you love and less of the things you don't love. And I think creating the time and the space to do that for yourself is huge. And you should be grateful that you will give yourself a gift like that.
Absolutely. And I do think it's when you have a dialogue with a client and they're talking about, well, I really want to wake up in the morning and work out, but right now I'm too tired and I can't bring myself. And then you walk through their day and you realize, like, from 9:30 to 11 at night, every night they're like on their phone. And this is no judgment because we've all been there. But if your priority is to wake up feeling more energized and work out, and then you look at your evening, all of a sudden you're like really just shining a spotlight on the fact that, well, they have an hour and a half of time that they could be sleeping to help them prioritize their movement in the morning, and they're not doing it. And so it's with that, just unpacking and highlighting what you're doing. We have 24 hours in a day, and not everyone is spending it intentionally, right? We're not spending all those hours, myself included. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of like, okay, it's a little bit of a wake-up call, if you will. And how can you make those shifts? And that's what this program is going to help you with.
And then just a couple other things we are going to spend time on during this program. We're going to talk about supplements. I think a lot of people are over supplementing. They're taking things that they hear about from their neighbor, their mom, their best friend. And sometimes the supplements don't all work together in a cohesive manner. And you maybe don't need so much, right? Like we're becoming these over supplementing machines. And so we would love to guide you from an education standpoint on how to, again, build a foundation and maybe add things in as you need them. But that doesn't mean you need them forever. And I think that's what sometimes people forget when they start taking supplements, is they just continue and continue and continue. And really, the best way to know where your levels are at is to test. But I think that if a supplement isn't working for you, it is okay to remove that supplement because it's not good for our bodies to just continually supplement, that you can't supplement yourself out of bad habits and a bad diet. And so we want to clear some of that clutter.
Absolutely. And I do think that there's a lot of confusion and clutter out there. Um, and then, of course, we're going to tackle blood sugar. I mentioned insulin before as a hormone, and we see this having a big impact, especially on women. And so we won't get into all that now, but it will be something that we will cover and help you make some small tweaks into your just how you eat or how you move your body and when. And that can have a big impact on that midlife, middle weight gain, if you will, which happens to a lot of us. I was just having a conversation with a girlfriend the other night. We were out and she's like, just like the belly. And this is someone who's fit and who's, in good shape. And we're all just kind of feeling that right now. And then, of course, we're going to talk about stress because that's foundational and it's going to impact everything we already just talked about.
And it's a tough one. Like I struggle with stress and I don't even necessarily feel stressed, but my body clearly feels stressed because I get these little reports on my Aura ring or whatever, and it shows stress. So learning how to rewire the system, which is very difficult for me, at least.
It is very difficult. It's funny. I just got a second Aura ring because mine had pretty much died.
I noticed the gold. I like it.
So I debated for like the last year. Do I need another one? Do I not? But I haven't been able to I haven't been able to wear it during the day because the battery won't last. So I don't have any of those stress during the day metrics, which I think is really going to help me because last time I did a cortisol test, it was still high. So I'm committed. I just put this on the other day and we'll see how it goes.
At the end of all of this, we want you to live a long, happy, healthy life. And so talking about longevity and how we can continue to do things so that when we're in our 90s, we're on the floor playing with our grandchildren, or we're walking, or we're hiking, or we're doing whatever it is you want to be doing at that age. So we want you to feel clear and strong and light. And, we're just so excited to go through this program with you. And we'll drop weekly lessons in the program, and there's going to be weekly reflection prompts so that there's time for you to actually think about what you're doing and write about it, because I believe that's a really important part of growing and learning and developing, is reflecting the past, looking at what you want in the future and what's actually going on with you right now. There'll be some live coaching. There'll be accountability check-ins. The recipes that you're used to, if you've done our Vitality Reboot, will still be there. And then we'll have this whole community working together. So that's some of the structure of the program.
We just want you to wake up in 2026 in the new year, feeling energized and clear-headed. Yes, we want you to, reduce your bloating and improve skin and all that, balance your blood sugar and all that. But honestly, just feel more alive. Feel like you're calm amidst the chaos of life, because I know a lot of you are busy and with kids and work and everything, but just feel like you're experiencing joy every day, that your mind isn't racing, that you're not waking up in the middle of the night with running to-do lists, you're getting a good night's sleep, and you're feeling energetic and finding purpose and joy and meaning in your life. And honestly, building community within this group, community at home. And there is, obviously, as you know, we've talked about this before on the Blue Zone, such powerful evidence that community and having really meaningful relationships with the people in your life will help from a longevity standpoint too. So this will have a ripple effect. This is not just for you, first and foremost, which is important, but it's going to impact everyone in your life. So anyone out there who's a mom or who has a family or a partner, they will feel and see the difference in you as well after the end of 12 weeks.
And we're calling it Reclaim Your Radiance for a reason. We want you to feel radiant. Like when you're walking around, your neighbor says, wow, you are glowing. You look so happy. Like, what's going on? What are you doing? So we're striving for that. Like, we want all of you to just feel radiant.
Okay, so for the first 10 members who sign up for this program, you're going to receive $100 off using the code RESET100. So go ahead and gift yourself something wonderful for the holidays, for the new year, and sign up today. The links are all in the show notes. And if you have questions or just want to explore a little bit further, reach out to us, DM us on social media, email us at theartoflivingwellpodcast@gmail.com. And we're really excited for you to join this community. Marnie and I love being part of these groups, and we want to share all of our insights with you and really just let you guys do the work. This is not going to be about us telling you what to do. We'll give you some nugget, research and insights, what's going on in the health and wellness space. But at the end of the day, like I said before, you already know what you need to be doing, and we're going to help you unpack and get you there on your journey, just kind of progress a little further on your journey to find your art of living well.
And you do deserve to feel vibrant. You deserve to have ease in your body. We don't want you to just survive. We want you to thrive. People say the next 40 years are just going to suck because we're getting old and it's not fun anymore. Well, that is not the case. We want you to turn that around if that's how you feel. We want you to be excited about your next 40 to 50 years because we want you to thrive. So sign up. We want you to join us. Link is in the show notes, and pass this on to a friend. It's always fun to join with a friend, and we look forward to being on this journey with you.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Art of Living Well podcast. If today's episode inspired you, please subscribe, share, and leave us a review. It helps more people discover our show.
And if you're ready to take your health and happiness to the next level, we would love to support you. Whether it's through our transformative group programs, personalized coaching, or functional medicine lab testing, we help uncover the root causes of your health challenges and unlock your vitality.
Visit www.theartoflivingwell.us to learn more and book a free discovery call. Until next time, keep creating your art of living well.